Alright, hello. So, we're going to be going through the section B of the AQA A-level Computer Science Paper 1. This is the 2022 problem. If you're not sure what the section B is, the section B is essentially the programming section, so they'll give you some puzzle or like an algorithm, and you'll essentially need to program it in Python. That's basically it. So, I'll just quickly get into the problem. So, it says write a program that asks the user to enter a string, and it should then change the order of the vowels in the string and display the result. And here it says if there are n vowels in the string, then the first in the string should swap with the nth, and the second should swap with the n minus 1th. I can't speak. And we're obviously given a list of vowels. So when I first read this, well, obviously when you first read this, I'm assuming everyone should think, okay, we'll need an input. I'll just quickly write that anyway. Input, enter a string. And then we'll obviously need to swap these. Now, when I see this, not everyone will think this, but I think pointers. So what I mean by that is there'll be some number pointing to the index of the front and one pointing to the end. Now, the front pointer is obviously going to be 0 because it's going to be the start or the start of the string. I can't speak today. Oh my days. So, and then the row pointer will just be the length of the string, and then we'll need to subtract 1 because indexing starts at 0, and we'll make a variable. I'll just put it up here because that space is annoying me. Vowels equals a I O U. Okay. And then obviously it gives us some examples to explain how the program works, or how the program should work. So H is in vowels, so nothing happens. O is in vowels, so we get to the end. E is in vowels, so we swap them, and R and S aren't in vowels, so nothing happens. Same thing with goose. G is in vowels, O is in vowels, E is in vowels, swap them, and then we go on to the next one. O is in vowels, but there's no other vowel. Well, S isn't a vowel, so it just stays in place, and we get gyoso. Nice word. Anyway, and then you can do the same thing for pink fairy armadillo. Interesting choice of strings. Anyway, so getting into the actual logic of the problem, the way I'd probably approach this is using a while loop. Now, the reason I do that is because we're going to obviously be passing through the string, but the thing that's passing through is the front and the rear pointer. And if we think about it, if the front pointer and the rear pointer are going to get decremented, they're going to eventually meet, and when they meet, we're obviously going to be done with the string. We're going to be passed. We're going to pass the string fully. So what we can do is we can say while the front pointer is less than the rear pointer, because if there's an odd number of characters, then they'll be equal to each other, so this statement will break it. And then if there's an even number, then the the front pointer will be greater than the rear pointer, meaning that it will also break. So we can check if the string fp at the front pointer is in vowels. If it is, then we will do another while loop. By the way, this is just a solution. There are probably many other solutions. This is just one I've made up, so this will work, but there may be other solutions which may be more efficient, but obviously not looking for efficiency. So, because we're in time conditions and we only have around 20 minutes for this section. So what we'll do is, if the string is in, if the character is in vowels, then we'll do another while loop. Now this while loop will check if the character at the rear pointer is not in vowels. Now the reason we're saying not in vowels is so that we can actually decrement the array pointer. So every time we find it, obviously these are vowels, but let's say they're not. If this isn't a vowel, then we decrement. If this isn't a vowel, decrement. If this is a vowel, then we'll obviously break out of this, and then we can do the basic logic of swapping the characters. So we can say the string, or the character at the front pointer, and the character at the rear pointer. Ooh, I should note, you can't do this with strings. 1 second. Now, what I mean by this is that if you obviously have, well, let me just finish this statement. You can't actually swap string or characters like this in a string. The only way you can really, well, the only way I know of doing it is by making this into a list. So, well, lists allow this. I don't know why, but there is a reason, and I just don't know. But you'll need to do this for my solution. Anyway, and then another thing we'll need to do is decrement the row pointer, because if we don't decrement it, and let's say the two, obviously the two we swapped are vowels, then this while loop will never occur. What I mean by that is, if we go to A and we swap it with U, and let me just write this below it, and they're obviously vowels, so we get A, E, I, O, A, and then if the row pointer isn't decremented but the front pointer is incremented, like what I mean by this is if I put RP or FP plus equals 1, then this will swap with A again, which is not what's meant to happen. E should swap with O, not A, because A isn't actually decremented when a vowel is found. We'll need to decrement it again, just to ensure that we go through the string fully, and no issues occur. Now, let me remove that. Now, at the end, because we need to return this or display the result in a string format, and obviously we've used a list, we'll need to actually join all the characters in the string. Now, there is a method for this, so what I mean by joining them together is, because if we put in string now, oh, that will cause an error because of all of these, and we'll use horse as the example, or goose, whatever. We'll just use horse to begin with. Horse. Now, you can obviously see this is not the correct format. We'll need to make this into one complete string. Now, the way you can do this is by using a join method, which will join all of the elements in a list, and I'm assuming this only allows strings. I could be wrong, but, and if you're wondering what this is, well, this highlighted part, oh, not that highlighted part, this highlighted part, this is essentially the separator. So if we had A, B, C, D, E in a list, what it will do is it will join all of them, but put a space. If you put a space here, like if I put a space here, it will join them with a space, so A, B, C, D, E. But if I obviously don't put a space, so I put a blank, we get A, B, C, D, E. I'll just give an example of that. If I put this and put a horse, you can see there's a space. But then if I remove this, horse, we get cursor. Now, I'll just quickly copy this in, so we can go back to the original problem at hand and see what our test cases were. Now I'll just paste this back in. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll just type it again. Don't join string. Okay. Now we need to check what are these words? Actually, I'll check with these as well. The pink fairy armadillo. So if we run this, then pink fairy armadillo. There you go. Now you can compare this with what they've given, or rewind and check if this is right, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Now, we'll check the other ones that they wanted us to check. What are these? I'll just highlight, comment these. So we need Persepolis. Sounds like a Greek name almost, or place in Greek. There you go. Persepolis. Okay, sure. I'm assuming these are right. Yeah, Durius, you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is right. If we go through the string, it does make sense for this to be right. And then if we check Xera's, it should stay the same. Yeah, Xera's. And that's how you solve this problem. Yeah, there's your complete solution. Thanks for watching.